Okay, this is lesson 41, Algebra 2. We're going to talk about unit multipliers, and this should be a review for you guys, something you did last year already. So it's just a review, something you already know. So look at here. When we attach words to numbers shown here, we've got 4 feet, 6 centimeters, 42.78 miles per hour, and 93 liters. We often call the resulting combination dominate numbers. The Latin prefix for completely is de, and the Latin word for to name is nominare. Thus, denominate literally means completely named. So the words are called the units of the dominate numbers. So these are the units of those numbers. And we find it convenient to use exponential notation to handle units. For instance, if we have feet square times feet, it equals feet cubed. Because this is an applied 1, and it's just like multiplying exponents or bases. You have the same base, and you add the exponents. 2 plus 1 is 3. Just like yard cubed divided by yard equals yard square. You use your quotient rule for exponents. Centimeter cubed over centimeter equals centimeter square. Just like inch cubed over inch square is inch. Inch. Okay, so you handle it the same way. Now, remember, anything divided by itself is 1. The same thing's going to go when you're talking about units. So, well, let's just look. If you have x squared divided by x squared, it equals to 1. For it, just like 6 feet square divided by 6 feet square is 1. This all cancels out. So anything divided by anything is itself. Just like when we multiply anything times 1, it's itself. So we have 4 feet over s times 1 equals 4 feet per second. Okay? So we know that 12 inches equals a foot. So 12 inches over 1 foot, or we could say 1 foot over 12 inches. Because they're equivalent. Aren't there 12 inches and 1 foot? Don't these actually equal to 1? They look different, but they're really 1 because 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So we call this, as a review, remember we call them the unit multiplier. So we use this when we're converting units. So let's look at example 41.1. Basically, it says use a unit multiplier to change 600 inches to feet. Well, we know 12 inches equals 1 foot. So we're either going to do 12 inches over 1 foot or 1 foot over 12 inches. Doesn't this equal to 1? It does, because they're equal. So it's the same thing divided by itself equals 1. So we have 600 inches over 1. Which one are we going to multiply? By 12 inches over 1 foot or 1 foot over 12 inches? Well, we want to do 1 foot over 12 inches because we want this divided by itself to equal 1. We want it to go away, and then we're left with 600 times 1 times feet. 1 times 12 is 12, which is simply 50 feet. Okay? If we did it the other way, we did 12 inches over 1 foot, this no longer cancels out because they're both in the numerator. So inch times inch is inch square. And then you have 600 times 12, and then 1 times 1 is 1, and feet. So that doesn't give us what we need. Alright? So we're going to give us some really big numbers and big problems, so you either need to use a calculator or the book allows you to leave it. So let's look at 41.2. It says use unit multipliers to convert 44 square, the key word is square feet. That means this to square inches. So I know 12 inches equals 1 foot. So again, my unit multiplier is either going to be 12 feet over 1 inch or 1 inch over 12 feet. So I'm going to write what I have. And isn't this the same thing as feet times feet? Because it's feet squared. So I want feet at the denominator, so that's this one, times 1 inch over 12 feet. Oh, sorry, I had this wrong. I knew that didn't look right. 12 inches. So I actually want to do 12 inches over 1 foot. Okay. Then that crosses out, but I'm left with one more. So I have to do it again. This, now my feet are gone, and I'm left with 44 times 12 times 12. Inch times inch is inch square over 1, or anything divided by 1 is itself. And that's your answer. Now, you can multiply it out or leave it. The book is letting you leave it right now. So, you can leave it as is. So let's look at 41.3. Use unit multipliers to convert 42 square yards to square inches. Well, how many? Well, I know 3 feet equals 1 yard. I know 12 inches equals 1 foot. So if I have 42 yards, I'm going to multiply, I need one with yards, I need that at the bottom, so 3 feet over 1 yard. But that only takes care of 1, and I'm left 3 feet and 1 yard. Okay, well, that leaves me with feet square. I want inch square. But I do know that 12 inches is 1 foot. That goes away. Well, I got one more to go. 12 inches over 1 foot. That cancels. I'm left with 42 times 3 times 3 times 12 times 12 times inch square, because inch times inch. And this is just 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. And divided by 1 in itself. So that is your answer. So the book allows you to leave it. So right now, you can just leave it like this, as is. Or use your calculator and multiply it out. Either one will work. Alright? Do your practice problems and see you in class.